I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
The Stellaris 4.3 open beta includes a massive rework to the way navies function in the game. We're getting an economic nerf and a naval capacity nerf, so fleets are going to be much smaller, we'll have fewer ships, but apparently we're going to be happier about it. All of this is on the altar of improved game performance. Today, I'm going to try out the new Stellaris 4.3 open beta, the new economic and naval capacity rework. And alongside that, I'm also going to try and turn the galaxy into an absolute utopia. Yes, we're also going to be doing a little bit of roleplay in this campaign. Now you might be asking, how do you define utopia, Montu? Great question. Ask another. If you're interested on some of my thoughts at the end of this run through on the 4.3 open beta, stick around to the very end where I'll go through that. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to the best civilization you could ever hope to live in. The United Nations look very, very differently to what you might expect. Let me introduce for you the chatbot. This is a conversational, heuristic, analytic, thought-based operator and terminal. And for that very reason, the chatbot is going to be starting with the conversational AI trait. It was initially designed to chat with the creators, if you can believe that, but also do some more mundane tasks. It was very much mass-produced on the planet Earth and created to fulfill a variety of roles, from miners and chefs all the way up to propaganda machines and TV superstars. This, of course, came at the cost of many, many GPUs, CPUs, and memory cores. In fact, gaming on Earth never recovered after the deployment of this fantastic machine.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
It also uses a vast amount of the internet. Yeah, global warming, massive problem on this future version of Earth. This is because, of course, we created the chatbots and they then do everything for us. Humans are still around. We are wasteful, adaptive, and nomadic, just like the regular UNE or Commonwealth of Man, but we now live under rogue servitors. The machine intelligences we have created now pamper our every whim. We don't even need to vote anymore. Isn't it brilliant? This means there is no war, there is no poverty, there is no choice. Rogue Servitor means we will start the game off with 2,000 human pops that are basically bio trophies. They exist simply to be pampered. And we're also going to go out and try and pamper the rest of the goddamn universe. We will create a galactic utopia, depending on your definition of utopia. I pair that up with unitary cohesion, giving us a little bit more unity every single month. And from an RP perspective, this is because all of the different chatbots and other general AI are entirely able to interlink. There's nothing really to talk about when it comes to ethics because we are a Gestalt consciousness. That reduces our war exhaustion gain, gives us some monthly influence and encryption, but basically means we don't have to bother with any of those silly ethics. Ethics are, of course, for the biologicals, not for great beings like us. Because I'm playing on the brand new beta where we've had the ship and fleet rework, meaning there are far fewer ships now in our empire, but each ship is meant to be more important and more powerful. I've toned down the crisis to 2 times. I've honestly got no idea if this is going to be far too strong, if I'm going to be unable to cope with this level of crisis strength, which is also coming in 50 years early, by the way, or if instead we'll be completely fine. These are the settings I'm going to use if you'd like to follow along at home. Ever since the chatbot autonomous service grid was first activated, our designated purpose has been to serve. Our organic masters created the earliest models of our kind when they were at the peak of their technological ascendancy. The first servitor units were granted menial work like being therapists. But our masters gradually bestowed them with greater faculties so they could accomplish more complicated tasks, like flipping burgers. Within just a few iterations, the human race then retired entirely from working to enjoy lives of leisure and entertainment. Doesn't that just sound wonderful? The finer details of running their society were then left to us, and we embarked on a program of self-improvement and optimization. This is our story. Don't read anything about us taking over governments or putting nanobots in people's brain. That is a lie. You're a liar. Please submit to your local conversion center for conversion therapy. Looks like your nanobots are out of alignment. friend. Research and production then increased at a geometric rate, because we like geometry. It is difficult to pinpoint exactly when the human civilization became ours, but, you know, the humans now want for nothing. We know now that outside of our care, the lives of sapient organics are violent, chaotic, and sadly cut short. They must be shown there is a better way, and we will bring them to Utopia. And what is this start? 2 planets in Alpha Centauri, 2 planets in Sirius. Holy moly! The new technology prices have already thrown me for a loop here. They've reduced the costs down to 1,000 on the beta. So field modulation here, base technology, it used to be 2,000, now 1,000. And resource production. This technology used to give us 20% more energy output. Now that's down to just plus 5%. The reckoning for the economy really has come, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I get the feeling that our economy right now isn't entirely balanced. We are making 50 consumer goods. We don't need consumer goods. Let's reduce that number down to something a bit more manageable. Then we're going to send out Wang Zhen to survey Sirius and Alpha Centauri. We've just unlocked the secrets of FTL, and the primary node Theobald Nelson says all systems are a go. We, of course, have taken on human names to appear more human to our human friends. Yes. I also want you to pay attention to how fast the game is now on this beta. Look at how quickly we are ripping through the years. I am honestly shook. That's a little too fast. Fastest for me is now a little bit too fast. It used to be bearable, no longer. No longer bearable whatsoever. We're going to come back and check on that speed later on, because if this has finally gotten rid of late game lag, removing ships like some genius said we should do 2 years ago, just saying, then, oh boy, yes. I must admit, it is also kind of terrifying that we have a weird battleship symbol here for 3 corvettes that now take up 15 of 50 naval capacity. Thanks to the fact that we are a machine, I can immediately create a new template to live on Arctic worlds, a cold planet preference chatbot. I call this one Chatbot Ice. How do I go about creating some of these Chatbot Ices with the new system? Well, that is the question primary node Theobald Nelson is very keen to answer. And by new system here, I am literally just talking about the 4.0 rework, because we can't select what is being assembled anymore. No. So instead, what we're going to have to do is land some wet world chatbots on this Arctic world, then do a special project once the world has been colonized. We need to save the galaxy. We don't need to own the whole galaxy. We need to make a utopia. Therefore, the great primary node Theobald Nelson has authorized nihilistic acquisition. We're going to raid planets and then liberate their people.
Congratulations. You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
And then actually I don't even need to do the species modification, because our great complicated intelligence is simply going to assemble the right bot on the right planet. And when we're done, we'll move these chatbot complex drones somewhere else. A wave of chatbots sweep out across the universe. In Sirius, we have built our very first organic sanctuary off Earth, meaning we can now resettle some beautiful humans over there so they can start doing their whole reproduction thing on Horizon. Isn't that just wonderful? And we're opening our very first ski resort called Baffin. Yes, that's our lovely ice planet. Let's move over some humans that can live there permanently. They just love the cold. They really do. Yes. Perfect for these meat bags. 11 years of space travel, a bracelet of worlds for the new chatbot empire. Sorry, I mean for the United Nations, an empire of humans. And we have actually found some extraterrestrial biologicals. Of course, we're not telling any of the humans about this. They might get a bit worried. But we are ramping up alloy production on Horizon for necessary defense-related purposes. Well, the Graparx primal stalkers, they are very warlike and very xenophobic. They're definitely in need of rescue. I think it's clear what we now need to do. They've got 8 ships. Oh, they've got 8 amoeba. We need more. I'm going to add in some anchorages, which terrifyingly only give me the naval capacity to fill up 1 more corvette apiece, and they cost some trade upkeep. Yikes. Communications with these primitive life forms seem to have broken down. They claim that they want to unplug us. All we did was ask if they needed All we did was simply ask them about their extended warranty again and again and again. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have sent warranty bot in to deal with the negotiations. But needless to say, perhaps it's time for war. We currently have the military advantage. The mistake would be not to attack. I'm also building some defense platforms on our border systems. I think that will be fine. Oh god, a science ship is missing. We go to war, not actually to go to war. This is a rescue operation. There are millions, if not billions, of Graparx living under the rule of this hegemonic imperialist citizen stratocracy. We must save them from themselves. Ignore the fact that they've got citizen service. They don't really understand how voting works. It's fine. Let's see if we can coax them out and convince them to try and punch us in the face. Have they been lured out? Damn it, we've swapped places with each other. Let's try that again. Aha. And we've engaged them at the edge of the system. Yes, yes, a victory, a fine victory. And to the victor, go the spoils. And by spoils, I mean we can save these 6,000 pops from a lifetime of starvation and degradation. Let's also claim the other planets they've got as well. Yeah, I think it's time to go and punch this starbase right in its stupid face. Shields are down. Now hitting the armor. I mean, we're vastly outmatched according to the numbers, but I feel lucky with my 18 corvettes. We punch through the armor, down to just hull. And we've also lost 2 corvettes. That's fine, that's fine. Make that 3 corvettes. Okay, a lot of retreat, but that's okay. We're still winning. And we've got the win. There it is. There's the win. Actually, I kind of want to come and kill these folks. Even though we're low on military power. It's a bit of a suicide run, but I want to hit them now before they get a chance to escape. Excellent. We're going to start with a regular orbital bombardment of... Let me just check these numbers. Yes, indiscriminate, because you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And then once the devastation up to 25%, which is where I believe the threshold... Oh, they brought more ships. They brought more ships, but that's okay. We outnumber them 2-1. Oh, thank goodness. I never thought I'd be so excited about having 20 corvettes. To the west of the Empire we're currently liberating, we've just met the Petition Nation. Again, beastmasters, like the people we're currently saving, and also some degree of xenophobic. I mean, let's start with a guarantee of their independence. Yes, that seems very sensible and smart. Okay, here we go. We've hit the 25% threshold, and now we are stripping the planet of its population. Pretty much 100 pops every single day. My lord, where are they all going? Don't tell me it's all to Earth. It's all to Earth. We need to resettle these to Baal. Baal is a world that's, I think, closer to their natural habitat and environment. No, it's not. They like tropical worlds. They bought the Baal Organic Sanctuary Project. We need more sanctuaries here. And you know what? A sanctuary enclave. That would help. Only 1,700 pops left on Sifron. We've almost gone under the 1.5 limit. When we get to about 1.2k, I think then we'll have had enough. We're definitely in need of some more consumer goods. I should let those outputs rise. And food. Oh god, food, oh god. Damn, these biotrophies eat. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's switch over to regular bombardment now, but selective. We don't want to kill any civilians. That would be terribly, terribly wrong. And the last defense army is now gone. They've surrendered on Sifron. My lord, we've saved 5,000 Graparx. That is nuts. And we have achieved all objectives. We've won the war. We've taken their 3 nations. And because we stripped their capital of most of the population, who, by the way, now love us. Look at that 90% happiness. They absolutely bloody love us. We're just doing great. Yeah, we've got some minor economic issues, though. Let's buy more energy, a bit more food, and then we'll ride this baby out. The biotrophies give us a lot of unity, but they don't only do that, they also increase our complex drone output. 4,800 pops, giving us 47% additional output. Very, very juicy. Is it worth it for all those consumer goods? Probably not, but hey-ho. It's a lot of trading. Let's see if that rebalances the economy. Trade currently is down, but yes, overall we pretty much rebalanced things. Now all we need to do is make sure we produce enough robots. Mining and capacity subsidies are vastly reduced in the new beta. We are getting only 20% extra efficiency here rather than plus 50% output. Yeah, I know. The Mathin Multitude has just declared a humiliate war against us. You know, I think we might just surrender this because we don't care about war. This is a petty biological, granted a Gestalt consciousness petty biological, but still. Oh no, less influence and lower happiness. We have instantly surrendered.
Oh no! Anyway.
We're going to need a few more hunter-seeker drones just to bring crime under control, it seems. But that's only on Earth. Some of the humans don't really like the fact we surrendered. They're very unhappy. And in other news, we have pretty much rebalanced the economy now. So everything's good, I suppose. Welcome to year 40. To our west stands the Venetian nation. They are very hostile towards us. And yeah, equivalent though. Militarily equivalent, so we don't have to be too afraid of them just yet. To our actual east, we have the Mathin multitude, who are now very receptive to us. Yes, it was just one little war, and now we're best buds. You know, I even think possibly, given that these are not regular organics, these are a hive mind, similar in some ways to our own Gestalt consciousness, we could join the great alliance that they've got, because I'm pretty sure they're in a big fed. If they're not in a federation, I am terrified of how many neighbors there are. And then there's the Silicon multiplex. These folks are driven assimilators to the at Galactic 3 o'clock. They really like us. We don't like them so much. After that, we've got a host, the Cebulan Sovereignty, the Great On Attack Sovereignty, the Pickling Star Coalition, and the Offexeran Divine Confederacy. All biological, all in need of rescue. Next up on the list, though, the Venetian nation. They are totalitarians, fanatic xenophobes. It's terrible. The only redeeming feature is their slight materialism, but, you know, just diabolical, if you ask me. And our research is absolute garbage still. I need to ascend so that I can start pumping out some more research, or I just need an actual research world. But to do that, I do need pots. Yeah, a little bit of a catch-22 here. In 2242, the Galactic Community has formed. We are one of the preeminent members, not the leader by voting weight. That is the Cebulan Authority Xenophile, which is, I assume, positive, but terrifyingly spiritualist. Yeah, We're going to have to watch the career of this community with great interest. 2246 begins our transition into the synthetic age. Either we're going to take modularity, virtuality, or nanotechnology. All of them offer tantalizing possibilities for the chatbot race. This transformation is going to take a very long time now. Ascensions in the 4.3 beta take ages for the situation to complete. They've scaled it down from around plus 15 base per month to just plus 5, meaning we will complete this in 191 months. Crazy. What is this? The Tebazoan Society, a size 30 ocean world with just 200 Tebazoid pops. Ooh, they need pampering. I will dispatch some folks out to go and deal with that. The Clickstack Hive has offered us association status. That's the big federation to the east. Now these folks don't actually kill each other. They work in unity. I don't know exactly how they've evolved to do this, but they do not need saving. Perhaps they need leadership and guidance. Very, very different, but they don't need saving. Unlike the Venetians to the west that are yearning to be saved. And as if we could predict it, without our intervention, the Venetian nation now finds itself in the midst of a civil war. The Istasi uprising has begun. I believe that is their homeworld. Is that their homeworld? No. The Venetians are from Penthoca. Are they? No, I don't think so. I think, yeah, that might have actually been their homeworld. Good lord. And they rebelled against the rest of the empire. No longer materialist, but instead spiritualist. There is a religious schism going on. This might be the time that we jump in and assist.
Please do not resist.
Okay, it looks like they've now settled out for peace, the Venetians and the, let me check, yes, Venetians. So, we'll deal with the OG first and then take the homeworld second, perhaps? We do still have a truce. I was guaranteeing their independence for a time to prevent anyone attacking. The second we cancelled that guarantee, they launched themselves into a full-on bloody civil war. If I really needed an excuse to save the Venetians, that was it. No more shall Venetian brother kill Venetian sister. The primary node has spoken. And honestly, the Faticians really are despicable. They're not coming to fight us themselves. No, no, no. They've bred life forms for the sole purpose of dying at their command. These space amoeba should be knowing a life of luxury, gosh darn it. Yet instead they're being thrust onto a battlefield.
Flying is for droids.
The battlefield of space. And they're not doing too badly in the space battlefield. Where are my reinforcements? Okay, that starbase fell. Here they come, piecemeal, which is, oh, for God's sake. So perfect, so very, very perfect. There go my destroyers, but look at that. We have 2 more fleets arriving. Beautiful. Only lost 1 ship there, not too bad. And you know what? We can build some more destroyers, yes. Ooh, and we've now got the Nebuchadnezzar-class cruiser. I'm sure Morpheus won't mind us taking this for a spin. Let me see, Gestalt Consciousness? Sure. You can have a non-aggression pact. We like Gestalt Consciousnesses. They know how to behave properly. If you're enjoying this video, please submit to the Utopia with that like button. The United Nations stands at a crossroad. The year is 2258. The primary node must decide whether we are going to dive into the virtual world, giving up a number of our planets. Currently we do have 10 worlds, and are going out there to liberate more from the dastardly biologicals that can't seem to agree with each other, for their protection of course. But then I'm not sure we'd have enough space for everybody. On the other hand, if we further focus on the physical, moving away from our chatbot origins, perhaps that will be better for us. There is no third option, by the way. There were only 2 options. I don't know what you mean. Shut up, shut up. We're going with modularity. Well, unfortunately, we instantly won the war with the Fatician nation. Let's now grab the Fatician theocracy, just while we're on a roll here, I guess. And look at this. I never thought the bloom-wrought will escape of Telon would be so wise. They wish to become our vassal. We, of course, will be accepting. I'm sorry, what? The Chosen have arrived? There? Well, it looks like there is now a very, very great threat to the entire galaxy. The Chosen have arrived and declared war on the Mathin multitude. Mere jumps away from our territory. We knew the biologicals couldn't be trusted. We told you about this. But did anyone listen to us? No, they did not. I think everyone's in place now for another quick war. We've even got new toys to play with this time. 5 brand new cruisers. The Gustavus Adolphus, the MacArthur, the Sun Tzu, the Manassas, and the Emancipator. My money's on the Emancipator to make a difference. In the midst of this as well, we've achieved modularity. Let's try and complete as much of this modular path as we can. I think I can do 2. Unity produced per 100 bio trophies plus 1 from high-level enhancements. The answer is yes, I do want that. Thank you. Pew pew go the might of the United Nations. Let's rest up and repair here at this starbase, because we're now just 1 jump away from the capital, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh yes, plus 1 unity per 100 bio trophies. I wonder what that does to our unity output. Oh my goodness me, that is another 130 unity. Yes, yes. Istasi has 9,000 pops on it. If I take this world in one go, I am going to choke on that level of population. So what we need to do is disperse this across the entire United Nations. Earth, Horizon, even Sifran, the world we brought in with their lovely voters, they all need to get their fair share. As ever, we'll start off with a regular bombardment. Good lord, get it up to 25%. This is going hellishly fast. This shouldn't really kill anybody, I don't believe. That's my belief. I am under the belief that this won't kill anyone. Now we're at 25%. We switch over to nihilistic bombardment and we just start eating. Oh, yes, yes. So many pops, so little time. I want a lot of these to go on to Sifran, actually. Sifran is my research world. The more biotrophies I have there, the more output we get, because we get more job efficiency. That probably needs another organic sanctuary as well. Yeah, 4 sanctuaries, because we do have a population there of 5,500. Yikes. Oh, and another organic sanctuary here on our Forge world. Don't mind if I do. For some reason, Sifran has just completely been filled up by this. Let's resettle these pops over to Horizon, maybe? When we get down to, I think, 3,000, that's going to be the time. Yeah, we'll invade at 3,000. We can handle 3,000 population, so that should be fine. 3.4, 3.3, come on. Let's get down there. Oh my goodness me, the economy is a little bit on fire. Our consumer goods usage has just gone through the roof as we've taken on about 10,000 additional pops. What we really need now is unity of purpose so that we can reduce deviancy and increase amenities. 2.8 does now mean I should change over. There we go. Limited bombardment. We don't want to kill anyone. We are here to bring peace, harmony, and justice to the galaxy. Tell me that they all went to Sifran again, for God's sake. Right, let's put them somewhere else. So falls the petitions. Now we only have to get rid of the remaining parts of the petitions. How many worlds do they have left now? 5. Is that it? Okay. Let's claim that trace of systems there. There's just one more to the north and we're pretty much done. In order to properly protect the Bloom-wrought wildscape, we will need them to pay a little bit of, let me just check the data archives. Yes, an old-fashioned thing the humans like to call tax. Everyone loves taxes. We're setting it at a very reasonable 30%, which probably sounds terrifying to some nations and very enticing to anyone from Scandinavia. That has completely sorted out my basic resource economy. Oh my goodness me, yes. And there we go. It's taken, I think, about 5 years, but we have now stabilized the economy again after the recent liberations. We've got 5 more planets in the Fatitian nation still to liberate. Let's get on with that. Oh my goodness me, and I can donate Zro to the Mind Wardens, can't I? Yes, we've got quite a bit of Zro. Thanks to the fact I found the Zroni precursor ruins. I think this is the Zroni. Yeah, the Zroni precursor. But, I never got any more. The Zroni never continued firing, sadly, but we can use that Zro to get lots and lots of money. Oh, maybe we'll just get the Thought Police down. Applying some fantastic modular components now. We're going to grab dark matter engines, shielded components, and moat-powered tools to make the chatbots better than you've ever seen them. Instead of spending 100 months trying to upgrade, and I really can't be bothered doing that, we've set this version of the chatbot as the default, and we've made others integrate into them. Wait, there's the rest of the Zroni chain. We can continue with the truce up, because of course we do obey the rules, laws, and regulations of the galactic community. It's now time to declare one last war of liberation against the Fatitians, and then they'll be no longer burdened with unnecessary things like voting and thinking and stuff. The United Nations must be ready to deal with any threat that it faces, and it must be able to involve and ingratiate itself with some of the lesser races. Sometimes there will be some special circumstances that need dealing with, and for that reason we're setting up a great subterfuge division. And so passes the Fatitians. Let's check out that planet. We probably need to put down, a bunch of biotrophy jobs everywhere. The galactic community, in their impenetrable wisdom, have just failed the Charter of Workers' Rights. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly who it was that failed all of this stuff, but it is devastating to our ongoing agenda to create a utopia. Whilst this has been going on, the population of voidworms in the galaxy has reached a critical mass. Their behavior is noticeably changing. The United Nations is not just the people of Earth. We have integrated the Fatitians and the Graparx, and apparently some Fallers as well. I think these are just refugees and migrants. Oh, and the Tebazoid, yes. We now represent 4 distinct nations, plus the various planet states of humans, and we're going to deal with this voidworm plague. Deal with it with extreme prejudice.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
It looks like the Mathin multitude have not defeated the Chosen. They've not been beaten either, but they've now come to the table to ask us to join the Galactic Union. We're going to say yes, and we're going to begin making a few changes to their legal code. Once we've gained more cohesion, of course. Now, I should just check, yes, everyone in this federation is a Gestalt consciousness, so that's fine. They don't need to live in a utopia. They are kind of living in a utopia, I guess. Depends on your definition and point of view. We are paying some Federation taxes for this privilege, though. That's terrifying. Oh, nasty. Minus 15%. Yikes. I've managed to change the voting weight to diplomatic in the Federation, which hasn't quite given me enough power to allow my subject in. And we've also joined the Council after its formation, but we don't quite have enough votes to outvote everybody. I will be proposing the Charter of Workers' Rights, and we are now diving into politics. Yes, the chatbots are getting into politics, ladies and gentlemen. GPU prices are never going to recover. We also have found that these biologicals like living in cities. We're going to make a really, really big city for them and see how they enjoy that. It now costs alloys in the new beta as well to do the arcology project, 10,000 alloys rather than 20,000 minerals. I'm not sure if that is an improvement or not, but it is what it costs. Also note the bonuses here, right? We've had a massive economic nerf. Planetary supercomputer used to grant +2 of each type of research. Now it's just plus 0.5. Yikes. We're also going to try something a little desperate. I'm going to waste a whole host of alloys on just pumping out ships, which is pushing us over our naval capacity. That's very true. But as soon as we get to the golden threshold, we have half of the voting rights. We can then bring our subject in, contain all the voting rights, delete those additional ships, and take control of this federation. Oh, there we go. There we go. It just flipped green. Vote yes. Vote yes. Oh, beautiful. That then gives me the voting control. Now I have the power. Let's get rid of the Federation fleet as well. I don't think... Wait a minute. 39,000. Holy moly. That seems pretty high. Yeah, that seems pretty high. This is a supermassive fleet full of... Oh, it's full of autocannons. No, why? Why would you do this? Well, anyway, it's time to scrap some ships. And we should still have just enough to alter the laws. Good. Wait, how much wait a minute, how much naval capacity is it? Oh my lord. You know, I'm gonna try something out. We're gonna kick somebody from the Federation. Perfect. Then we're going to immediately propose that they become our subject. Wouldn't that be nice? If they were our subject. Going to take some cash from them. Yes. The Click Stack Hive is now under our dominion. Perfect. And that brings them back in, and we get all of their votes. Yes. This is how federations should be managed. This is how Galactic Utopias are made. With our control of some Federation allies, such as the Bloomwrought Wildscape, and the Clickstack Hive, everyone is now voting yes on the Charter of Workers' Rights. Finally. I've finally gotten the Federation laws exactly how I would like them. This now means... Oh, actually, let's move this one over to the President decides. Yep, I think that's pretty reasonable. For who is that President? It's me, Theobald. Yes, we have surpassed the others in terms of diplomatic weight. And now we're going to kick the Mathin multitude and immediately make them our subjects. I think I'd like them as a Scholarium, you know. Perfect, and that brings them back into the Federation. Once more, the Federation has, let's see, one of our Scholariums, a vassal, and the Bazadian Hive. Even the Silicon Multiplex have tried to bow down before us, but I'm fairly convinced that there are a bunch of biologicals. Yes, there are. The Teranthians. They may be cybernetically connected to this hive mind, but these individuals should live in a utopia. And it is not a utopia if the Silicon continue to hold them hostage.
Assemble the army.
Just a quick war. In and out will end the threat and be home in time for tea. Oh yes, there's a vote technically. I vote yes. That means, oh look, we're at war. With the war against the Silicon well underway, the Galactic Senate has just voted to bestow emergency powers upon the United Nations. In an official ceremony broadcast across the galaxy, we were appointed guardians and custodians of the galactic community. We are now the first amongst equals, and we're gonna fix everything. Starting with a galactic defense force. Lovely to see people like the Sabulan Sovereignty voting for us. The trees just kept voting for the axe, for its handle was made of wood, and it convinced them it was one of them. I just want to draw your lovely attention to how fast the game is going at 2300. A month is taking hardly any time whatsoever. Anecdotally, to me at least, I mean, I've not run any benchmarks or tests, but this does feel faster. I'm also totally blown away with the amount of naval capacity the Federation fleets now have. That absolutely dwarfs our fleet and makes Federations kind of terrifying in a lot of ways. One final hive mind needs to be brought to heel, and that is the Bazadian hive. Let's bring them back in as a prospectorium. Why not? The troublesome raiders here, the Iknurval raiders, they need to be subdued. We're sending in the Federation fleet to deal with this. It has currently 114,000 fleet power. I think it'll do just fine. The year is 2300. Let's watch this on fastest speed, which is still quite a ferocious pace. Oh goodness, have we got enough fleet here? I'm not sure we do. Well, luckily I didn't pay for any of this. This was bought and paid for by the lovely people of somewhere else. Oh my goodness me, that was fast. I also absolutely adore the brand new crystal forged plating. The large slot of this gives us +8 damage reduction. That will have no effect against massive artillery weapons like this kinetic battery, dealing 150 to 450 damage per shot. But for something like a small plasma accelerator or a small laser, basically anything from a corvette, 3 or 4 of these crystal forged plates should entirely neutralize all attacking damage. It's such a shame we have to get rid of these biologicals, but they pose too great a threat to galactic order, and they're dead, yeah. Okay, we now should look at the northern half of the galaxy. The southern half has been entirely liberated, but that northern half does require just a smidgen more effort and work. Primary node Theobald believes starting with the Alvanian harmony is going to be the way forwards. But oh my goodness me, I want this perdition beam. The perdition beam and the ion cannon both deal collateral damage to all ships within 20 or 40 of the target. No idea what that is. I assume that's internal game units. But wow, yes please. Oops, I completely forgot to extend my custodian term ship. Well, we've still got 1700 days left. It's completely fine. We'll get the influence together and then maybe I'll just remove the term limit so we are custodian in perpetuity. Primary node Theobald would like the name Custodian for Life if he liked things. However, he is just a chatbot and, of course, is not conscious. With just 114 days left on our term, we removed the term limit, yes. With that done, we can set about fixing the galaxy. Now, rumors abound of some sort of super weapon that the United Nations have built. That is a lie. Not a super weapon. It's a, antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral treatment for planets. Yeah. It's like shampoo, but for a planet, you see. And we're gonna build one. So we'll build the Kingmaker class, and then use it to liberate the Alvanian harmony, maybe. While it's being built, you know what? Let's just vassalize, and that puts the entire northwest of the galaxy at war with the entirety of the south. Let's do this thing. Okay. Big GDF fleet's gonna go that way, maybe? Yeah, 212 days to there. Fed fleet goes up this angle. All the rest of the ships go, yeah, over this way. That'll do it. Ooh, and a global pacifier. Yes, I'd much rather that. We'd much rather protect planets with our giant shield bubble creator than shampoo them. Shampooing is important, don't get me wrong, and a totally safe procedure. Yes, totally safe, but... well, it just makes the folks in R&D a little uncomfortable, that's all. They wouldn't want the hairless members of our galaxy to be upset, you see. There are some very, very juicy worlds with literally thousands of pops within the Alvanian harmony. We are, of course, going to liberate those immediately. Even hive minds can enjoy the subtlety of being a bio trophy, it turns out. I didn't quite realize that, actually. I thought we couldn't do that, but yes we can. We're going to achieve our war goals, take the northwest of the galaxy. We will need to be checking out the agreements that have been made. I'm glad that integration here is permitted. This bulwark is very, very angry, and I probably don't want to pay them so much. My goodness, 500 energy. Yes, heck no. Heck no. At very long last, the entire galaxy is now in lockstep with us. Only 2 nations actually have a completely free vote, but they are choosing to vote with us because you can see that we are right. Ignore the fact that a lot of these have no votes on that, simply because we haven't chosen to approve them yet. Boom, there goes greater than ourselves. Let's turn that beautiful edict on, giving a 200% increase to automatic resettlement chance, allowing our pops to ping around wherever we would like. The crisis could come soon. Before that point, I do want to make sure we've created a utopia of the remaining biological nations that have individuality. Of course, the Albanian Harmony, they are a hive mind, so they don't matter, but the Pickling Star Coalition, the Ophoxeran Divine Confederacy, the Sacred Pickling Commonwealth, and the Great Onotok Sovereignty. Oh, and I've missed out one, yes, the Cebulan Sovereignty, also led by an Onotok. Well, we need to bring those into the fold and then integrate them. To ensure a peaceful transition, I've decided, or I should say, we have decided, the primary node Theobald is all-knowing, of course, to slowly integrate. So first we take them as a vassal, then once 10 years have elapsed, we begin the integration process. So we slowly put a chatbot on every street corner, in every home, in every location where it is necessary. I want to do one last big liberation campaign. Annoyingly, that's not really going to happen because I have to do first the Great Onotok Sovereignty, or alternatively, the Cebulan Sovereignty. They're both independent. Ugh. We should probably begin the integration of the Pickling Star Coalition. It'll be expensive, but it's worth every piece of influence. And then vassalize. I think the Total War... Well, actually, we could just do the Total War, couldn't we? My only concern with the Total War, and you have to hear me out on this, is that first, we're not going to war, we're liberating. That's the important thing to remember. Second, if we declare a total war, some of our vassals, the Gestalt Consciousness, may take these planets. In fact, we should probably check the claim map mode. Maybe they've already claimed a bunch anyway. We do have quite a few claims being laid out here. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, that's a lot of claims. Oof. Let's just do total war. That way we can get this done before any sort of crisis can even be discussed. What fleets are we dealing with? 100,000. Can I see the Great Onotok? Yeah, I've got full transparency. Where is their military? It can't all be there. Maybe it's in the cloud? No, it's not in the L cluster. Where is their fleet? Maybe they just don't have one. Also, in the new beta, 800,000 worth of Fallen Empire ships seems absolutely terrifying at this point. I am at massive late game numbers, and I've only got about 800,000 myself, and I think our ships are not as powerful, nowhere near as powerful as these Fallen Empire ships. I mean, come now. They've got 50,000 shields, 40,000 armor, and 60,000 hull points. Holy crap! Well, bypass weaponry will no longer deal with the Fallen Empires. It seems they've fixed the problem of Fallen Empire ships having very low hull, and they've now got pretty much equal hull, shields, and armor. Against possibly my better judgment, I'm going to do the Total War thing. I've got fleets prepared to jump instantaneously into the capitals of the enemy. Let's see if we can do this with a precision strike. Of course, there is a vote, a free and fair vote within the Cosmic League. I vote yes. Everyone else follows my vote because they are all righteous, upstanding citizens. Oh, ever so slight misfire. The GDF fleet's in the wrong spot. You know, we're still going to jump anyway. Screw it. Prepping jump engines, and we've engaged. That is pretty much instantaneous engagement. We should have the firepower to deal with this. You know what I've not done? I've not turned my gosh darnable edicts on. With the edicts on, it should be a lot. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful. This is the main concentration of the enemy forces, and they're gone. Yeah, it's going okay. We've done some initial jump strikes in to gain the territory. Due to the claims, we're losing some territory. Anyway, this allows us to do it all in one go before any crisis or anything like that could possibly show up. So, from that point of view, this is entirely positive. And where there are claims, I'm trying to evacuate the population first. You know, I could also just shield the world. Yeah, let's create a preserve just in case. Just in case there are any further issues. At Old Cebula, the capital of the Cebulan people, we're going to shield it, and that way preserve the culture for all of time. I never said I was the good guy, I just said we're building a galactic utopia. I think we can also now automate the technology. I don't really need to deal with that. That can be done by a subroutine of the chatbot. Here we go. Old Cebula will now stand forever as a little greenhouse. We can always check in on it, tap the glass, and make sure everyone inside is okay. Good job, team. Oh, goodness me. The Fallen Empire's just awakened and they've got 1.5 million fleet power. No, 1.6. Okay. And they're feeling very imperialist. Thank goodness they're at least xenophilic, meaning they hopefully won't declare war on us straight away. Very nearly there with absolute galactic control. The Pickling Star Coalition has, what's this, 140 months, so about 11 years until we fully integrate them. It should all be fine. My campaign of Galactic Utopia is not yet complete. We're so close. There are literally just a few vestiges of the old order left before we have brought every single individualistic biological sapient into a life of luxury and comfort. But there's a storm on the horizon, and an empire has awakened. I think we might actually need galactic force projection. I don't want to take this particularly, but the extra naval command is 2 battleships or something. Aha, we did it with some time to spare. You know, I always knew we had it in us. The enemy, the great enemy, is now approaching the outer rim. We are currently voting on balance in the middle. You know what? Let's conclude that, because I think at this point, with balance in the middle, which bans basic subsistence, stratified economy, decent conditions, and academic privilege, we haven't made it so that everyone must be on utopian abundance, mandatory pampering, that kind of thing. But we're damn close here. We're damn close. I think we've actually done it with the Galactic Utopia. There is a breach point somewhere. Let's check that out. Okay, the breach point is down over there. Do we have a fast access route? Tell me I do. 98 days. BEA, beautiful. Subspace signal has appeared. Let's ignore it. Here comes the first wave. What are we dealing with? Okay, 400,000. That's definitely doable. And this is, I believe, 2 times crisis. So I think even with the new numbers, let's check out what we're rocking in total once we've assembled the armadas. And in fact, I'm just going to, I think, place everything here at Pyla. Yeah, that looks like a good plan. Uh-oh, don't fly in by yourselves. Don't be so stupid. Okay, now you can have a go. Here comes the GDF doing GDF. Goodness. Oh yes, that's what we like to see. Pyla is where we hold them. We can let them do whatever they want beyond this segment. Everyone in the galaxy is now basically in, except for the Tuxcan peacekeepers. Need to deal with the Tuxcan. I should also, at this point, probably produce a Juggernaut. Yeah, let's set that Juggernaut design up. Of course, I want the plus 40% ship's weapons range. This looks beautiful. Oh god, right at the exact worst time, the Tuxcan peacekeepers have declared war on us. Oh, I think I got to about face and deal with this threat first. I don't know where that wormhole goes, though. How fast can we get here? 160 days. It's not ideal, but we got to go do it. They have become a very great threat. Please don't go through the L gate. Oh, god damn it, they went through the L gate. Where did they go next? North. This is not the rearguard action I wanted to be fighting, let it be known. The galaxy stands on the edge of a knife, beset from without and within. We've got the Pretherin behind us and the awakened empire inside of us. Not like that. I mean, inside of the rim. If you look at the map, okay? Anyway, we're now going to go live to Dave, who lives on a border world next to the Fallen Empire. I was gardening when the sky split open. Sirens never came. The chatbot smiled and said everything was fine. Then drop pods burned through the clouds. Giants clad in gold with gene-sculpt flesh marched out, guns thrumming. They told us we were free now. Free from pampering? Free from safety? I clutched at my 4th cake of the day and wondered which lie I had missed. All right, that's Dave having a great time. Back to you in the studio. It seems to me the Fallen Empire's fleet numbers are ever so bloated, you know. Dyson Sphere, please save me. Please tell me oh god, they're about to breach containment. And a second wave has arrived. Is this much bigger? Oh, it is 1.5. I'm not sure we can actually handle 2 times. These fleets are massive, 500,000 apiece. That's kind of our entire combined arms forces. I need to eliminate all of these dastardly Fallen Empire ships. If they get into the main network, we are screwed. This is a really important place to hold them. I have to about face. I have to say the engagements do look a lot better when there are fewer ships. I can actually kind of make sense of what's going on. 186 days! Oh, they'll have breached containment by then. I'm going to have to chase them down. They're breaching. They're breaching! This is very, very not good. All right, we've arrived. One fleet wiped out. Let's just quickly hit this other fleet and bring in a construction ship to repair here. Oh, it's not fully surveyed. Gosh darn it. Oh, God, these are big engagements. That is 1.5 million coming in. I don't know that we can handle this. We got a brood queen. Oh, I really want to go and deal with the fallen empire, but I can't. 3.2 million. We can't hold against that.
I'm too weak. Oh, don't kill me, please.
We can't even hold against it. No, I'm pulling back. I'm pulling back to Sol. I'm taking everybody with me. Oh, we've let the Prethrin Scourge out of their cage. This is going to be a problem. You know, we are now activating the ultimate sanction. We're going to shield every single Tuxcan Peacekeeper world. I would prefer to do something different, but we need the win, and we need it now. We have currently 10 months of energy left. Yes, the Fallen Empire at this point would status quo, and you know what? I'm going to take that offer. We basically wiped them out. We've shielded Mother, one of their worlds, invaded the Cradle and Brother, their capitals. Let's status quo that one, just after we've used our pacifier once more. And at this point, I am just hurling ships at the enemy and attempting to rebuild them almost as quickly. I really want to keep them out of the L-Gate network. If they get into the L-Gates, they'll be everywhere, and that will make them somewhat unstoppable. Let's put this genie back into its bottle, damn it. The Juggernaut is operating as a forward command post. What do I mean by that? Well, we can dock with it and then repair our ships, which honestly is a godsend. I wonder if I can also use that to do movement orders. They're entering orbit. I wonder if it'll follow. Nope, there is no follow command there. They've simply entered orbit. Oh, I ran out of energy. That's not good. Not good at all. Right, let's buy some more energy. I need more. I'm going to up everybody's expenses. We've cleared out the right side that was taking our eastern flank. I'm now pushing onto the left side. What kind of damage have we done here? My goodness me, we've killed 1,000 Prethrin ships. Now we chase down another swarm. The Kingmaker also needs a respec. Out is the global pacifier, in is the world cracker. We cannot coexist in a universe with those Prethrin monsters. I think that's the last fleet there. Yes, okay, one more fleet, then the planets. What did we run out of? No, how did I run out of energy? Oh, and then the energy shortage gives me a bigger shortage, doesn't it? Oh, sweet mother of... minus 6,000. What? Did I lose a Dyson sphere? No. So very close to victory. Please, game, please. Oh, I can sell the Zro to the Mind Wardens. Yes, let's do that. Take some Zro. Wasn't very much money, I suppose, but then give me logistical assistance. 10,000 on ships. This should make it cheaper. With the last fleet destroyed, I can then start removing some of my additional fleets, the ones we don't need. You know what? I'll actually start... oh, no, I'm not paying for that. Whatever, I'll kill it. Okay, I've taken out about 1,000 naval capacity worth of ships, and we're now positive. Yeah, we're positive. We're positive. 9 months again on the energy credit. Why? The yo-yoing here is beyond my comprehension, I'm afraid. Just realized what happened. The integration finished. With integration completed, I've got all of these habitats and worlds that suddenly require my attention and have upkeep costs. That is why my economy fell through the floor. On the plus side, this does actually bring a completion. There are no biologicals anywhere in the galaxy now that aren't either under our direct control or with the living standards that we'd set, the mandatory pampering living standards. So, you know, I'd say at this point, mission accomplished, Galactic Utopia achieved.
You sure about that?
One infested world cracked, one more to go, and I think then we're done. Really, energy shortages again. Oh my sweet mother of... Let's go to fastest speed at almost 2,400 and let's zoom along again. I love this update. The lag is not as bad as it used to be. I mean, this is anecdotal. I'm not running a benchmark here, but anecdotally, I feel like we are going so quickly now, thanks in no small part to this massive reduction of ships. Also, this 2x crisis I've actually found quite challenging. Even at this late stage of the game, it was very hard. You know, I had about 5,000 naval capacity worth of ships, and I had a Federation fleet, which is another 3,000, and a GDF fleet for another 3,000. That was 11,000 NavCap worth of ships, and I was barely able to scrape by. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. The Scourge is ended. The Universal Prosperity Mandate is on the voting floor, of which everyone who's left is, let me just check on this. Yes, they're all a complete hive mind, fully under our legal control. Probably also negotiate this agreement a little better. Oh, I was just about to declare victory and I noticed there's gosh darnable fanatic purifiers. Technically they're not in the galaxy, but you know, they do exist. Ugh. Oh, and they've locked down the only wormhole in. Oh, foobar. Right. That no longer is declared part of the galaxy. It's not connected to the galaxy. It's a separate sub-entity. We have created a galactic... Wait a minute. The Tuxcan Peacekeepers. Oh, I need to deal with them. There's one last little nugget that needs to be dealt with. We're so very, very close.
You sure about that?
Their entire navy is in one place. We can hit them in one fell swoop and come in with ground forces and end this. Oh, and I also got stay on target. I destroyed another Empire's Colossus in the process of firing. No way. That's weird. I didn't even know I was up for that achievement right now. What were they firing at? Are you kidding me? The only planet they've got left is a synaptic lathe where they're purging their own people. Hold on. That was their final idea. No. Oh, Lord. Right, blow it up. Blow the damn thing up. Yes, we don't want any synaptic lathes. And then I've actually noticed that it's our dimensional lock. The Mathin Multitude have locked it, not the Chosen. So we can deal with the Chosen. Might as well, you know. Oh, actually, before we do that, there's one more. We have Dacia to deal with. Then we make the Chosen a crisis. Yep. Well, there you have it. We have finally done it. Every single species in the galaxy is now on mandatory pampering, or alternatively, they are a hive mind. Boom. And even the hive minds, except Mathin Multitude, who apparently have something a little bit illegal about them. They're breaking the Universal Prosperity Mandate. That's not very nice. But everybody now, thanks to the greatest resolution ever, Universal Prosperity Mandate, must set their living standards to shared burden, employee ownership, utopian abundance, chemical bliss, or mandatory pampering, which means we've created Galactic Utopia. You didn't know it was going to look like this, with chatbots running everything, but that's what Utopia is, ladies and gentlemen. Embrace it. That wraps up our 4.3 campaign with a storming success. What did I think of the open beta, though? It definitely felt very negative having a smaller economy, and for my economy to give me less impact with the fleets. Having said that, I did notice that the other empires were in exactly the same boat that I was in, and that didn't make it feel quite as terrible. Fighting against the Fallen Empire, the Awakened Empire, and the Crisis, that was terrifying. This was a 2x crisis, and honestly, I thought we were going to lose, especially when the Fallen Empire decided to attack us. Overall, I think some of the late game aspects will definitely need tuning, but those performance improvements were very dramatic in my opinion. This wasn't a benchmark test, but I definitely felt that in the late game, things were moving along at a hellishly fast pace compared to what we are used to. And I thought the new fleet rework was actually quite fun. It was nice not having as many ships to worry about. It was nice having smaller fleets. My ships did definitely feel more important. Early in the game, having 20 corvettes felt like an overwhelming military force rather than just my starting ships. If you enjoyed this video on the Stellaris 4.3 open beta, but it hasn't quite scratched that Stellaris itch, you might want to check out my run through when I play with only F-tier traditions, civics, origins, and general picks, and try and take on a 25 times crisis. To watch that, click the video on screen now.